Kai'Sa would be a very different thing.
I think it actually makes sense if you, again, can get through laning phase. I think this is a lot safer. So I do think that aiming is a very good Kai'Sa. It also would work really well with the top half of the map. But the biggest issue is that with Bard, you obviously always want to try and be out of lane. Gonna be hard against Jhin and Nico, obviously. But in an ideal world, Bard gets to just roam around, have impact, play his minigame. And Kai'Sa alone in a side lane against Pantheon, Galio, Jhin, and Nico is just going to chain die.
Yeah,
there's just no way around it. Ezreal both has more safety built into the kit and has more access to safe wave clear, so it's a lot easier for him to consistently keep waves thinned out, as opposed to Kai'Sa that has wave clear, but it's basically melee.
That can really cause some disruptions, but we will not count chickens before they have metaphorically hatched. Instead, let's just jump onto the rift. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift, as Xiu is already in a large amount of, well, I mean, he's Ambessa. Most of the time?
Yep.
See whether he can get most of these minions, as he does miss one there on our screen, as Doran finding a good trade onto Xiu.
Guess what? Now he's got the cooldowns of Doran, and now they get Drake. The T1 swapped away. They're playing for grubs, which makes sense given that they have a ton of side lane pressure.
They've got a fair bit of time to make this one work. Beryl finally getting himself here, but the taunt is going to come down. Faker going to get stunned up as the heal comes through from Beryl. Faker cannot actually get his hands onto Xiu, so he does have to ult his way out. And now it's Beryl that finds himself in an uncomfortable position. Another wave comes in, a magical journey through the turret, and first blood over to Gumayusi.
So I don't know if DK really want a hard committer, and it looks like they also think better of it.
Yeah, Faker is going to be moving over here as True Shot Barrage is looking to be a little bit tricky, but it's not quite going to work out. That is going to be Ona taking down the third grub. So that is all of them over to T1.
Yeah, but they didn't know where the Pantheon was. So if Ona is still waiting and try to go, they go again.
Full journey. Yeah, Keria having to flash as he is still very, very squishy.
Doesn't have 6.
Just, he likes forfeiting 50% of his health bar.
Right.
That's kind of his thing.
Is Xiu going to TP in?
We'll see. He is wandering down.
Obviously, both of them have ways to cancel TPs as well. A lot easier for Doran as T1 started up, and it looks like DK says, nope, this isn't the one either. And they have an early Drake, so they can afford to P. Faker's Galio, so maybe that, no, we're trading.
It looks like we might be trading.
Okay, I think just Lucid, though, doesn't do this fast enough.
But they also might just take Otacon as well. I've got confirmation from Emily Rand, by the way, that she knows exactly what I was talking about. As aiming now going to get caught out of position. The flash not going to quite work out, but the Tempered Fate, it certainly gets some work done. As now aiming just gets sniped off. Sometimes you need your teammate to protect you, but Lucid was just getting out of there. And so aiming now lying on the floor. And DK looking like they've had a bit of a jump scare. There is a fair bit of damage going on to this outer turret in the bottom lane. And now Gumayusi forced to flash out of the Cataclysm. But the Otacon is being taken. And
still being caught there by Lucid. As
well,
there we go.
Start this fight. True Shot Barrage does come on down as Gumayusi will get knocked up. No flash, no chance. He's out of there. The Cosmic Binding also is guaranteed when he's inside a rocky circle. And
it's not fun if you don't have flash.
Whoa, public execution as in goes Xiu, but I don't know whether that was a good idea. Still, it works as they focus down the turret, and Xiu's like, well, I'm out of here. My work is done. As Magical Journey is set up for aiming, but he's unable to take it because he just stays a little too long. Technically, I guess it is a 2-for-1, but Doran looking for an angle here and decides that he doesn't want to do it. Still, they should be able to answer this outer turret, and ultimately, it's going to be a pretty even trade unless Shelly gets some extra work done. If she gets a bit of a headache, then gets driven towards the bottom side, and that should be 2 turrets.
I think the previous kill onto aiming, given the amount of resources that were used, that one, I felt like, obviously it's rough as
oh no!
Still gets the turret, it's fine. He's actually in a really good spot now, though, especially if they get this soul point. Because again, I think their 5v5 is incredibly strong.
Yeah, it certainly is. They are able to get the soul point. Yeah, True Shot Barrage comes in. Taunt not going to quite find Beryl as Faker takes the Magical Journey, but immediately then gets stunned up. The exhaust is down on this Galio as Lucid wanting to Cataclysm over the wall, and he is going to successfully do so. Rock and a hard place, certainly, where Faker was there, and he falls. DK taking that as an opportunity to head towards this Baron, and this could be a huge gold swing if they're able to make this one work.
All right, we have a TP, and I think another person flanking here for T1. That's Keria behind them.
Yep, is this just Faker baiting? That's the question as Omna dives in, but the Tempered Fate is going to be there. Pop Blossom doesn't quite work as they take down Keria to start this one off. Still Shiu, still alive, and Gumayushi. It is the steal on the Baron though as Omna locks that one down, but it is Baron for Ace here on the side of DK, and maybe they'd still take it unless Doran is going to survive. This is a bit of a weird fight that's kind of prolonging things and ruining my rhythm, but that is absolutely fine. There is the Ace. DK take them all down, so the Baron means nothing, and the game is still even.
We do have Doran on a flank angle, will be found out. Oh, he's very deep.
He certainly is. Let's see whether he's going to try and make this one work as the heroic entrance does come in from Faker. Doran buying a lot of space as there's a fight on the top side as well. Aiming does try and get himself away, but it's Ona that locks down the double.
Shiu?
And Shiu is now trying to do what he can. Finally deals with this Aatrox, but these health bars are going down lower and lower still. There is no answer for this Ambessa, who gets on top of Gumayushi and crushes him. It's another ace for DK.
I think the biggest enemy for DK is just something they've really struggled with, which is their own consistency.
Tempered Fate going to connect onto only Doran as now Lucid just puts them in the circle. Pop Blossom there to answer, but it's Keria that goes down first, and now they're just falling one after the other. Jin gets the gigantic shield, and that is looking like release Ambessa to me, as this guy is straight back to LCK Cup form.
And game one, DK strikes again, Atlas!
I guess, you know, the 3-1 predictors for T1, this is exactly the timeline that they were expecting, right?
I even said it at the top of the day!
Yep.
Oh, what if?
Yeah, no.
What if, Atlas?
And it's not even a what if for game one, because now the script states it's a 3-zip for T1. We just skipped the first one, but still a phenomenal start here for DK. And the young man on the top side of the map in a matchup that he obliterated the other side of.
And now, Orianna's gone, Bart's gone, Jin's gone,
Yeah.
Nico's gone. That's a lot of champions for T1, taken out of the pool. Picking the Yunara, I get it, because you don't want to give it over to T1, but this is most likely going to be followed by Annie and maybe even Rakan as well.
Oh my God, he's doing it! Okay, thank you, Shovel. Thank you for turning up, as of course he's a bit of a Kiana guy. Gwen does fit that bill.
I think this makes more sense to me. Because I think that we have actually seen both sides of this matchup being picked. The Cassante, with the changes that came through to him, actually has a much stronger lane now. So he's able to actually stand up to the Jackson and build a lead from there.
And you're also a tank that can play the flanking game.
Yes, because we do know Shiu on things like Sion, Cho'Gath, and Ornn, I think, has really struggled. Cassante, to me, does feel like he is a lot more nebulous. As is he a true tank versus is he more of a bruiser, or tank turns into a bruiser?
Yep.
Or the other way around, depending on what point in the game we are in. It does make the DK composition, I think, more stable. But I'm looking at what T1 has, and that's some strong champions. And this Kiana is a big question mark, Atlas.
He is absolutely incredible. As we get the zoom in on Kiana, let's get into it. Game number 2.
And also, how would he ever kill Kiana? There's just not really a way because she's way too mobile.
Yeah.
And then the ultimate, which I think is unfortunately very long-winded, but very cool, just creates this giant AoE.
It's Wally Boom. Rise does come in as Doran's gonna get pulled back! Doesn't get hit by the turret, but he doesn't need it! Solo kill from Shiu!
I kind of wonder what the impact it's gonna have on the matchup, as Doran is just desperately trying to get this wave in, and that is fine. He would have been okay if he just got the wave in, but just wants to get a little bit of damage in, and again, but if the plan always was to lane swap, then it even does less. Showmaker doesn't have TP, or a flash rather.
Yep, doesn't have a way out of this one. Faker doesn't find that Q, but I don't think he needed to, as there's the Nimbus Strike. Down goes Showmaker in this mid lane. The answer is there, one apiece as far as those kills are concerned, and the game, once again, very, very even. Even 500 gold ahead for T1.
Where I feel like it's somewhat of a flip side of last game, where Barrel should be fine here. It feels somewhat the opposite, where I think T1, even though they have really good side laning, also have an insane 5v5. right? And that's, oh, in we go.
Yeah, Destiny comes on through as the flash is going to be flashed away from, so no pulverize there for Beryl. Elsewhere on the map. Okay, Showmaker once again going to get engaged on. Does flash this time, but that and Lucid was just taking away the enemy Krugs, but they're setting up a dive. That is going to be the plan.
Oh, Owner's on his way. I don't know if he'll be in time. Counter-Strike, is it up?
Yeah, it does have flash as well. Doran does have some outplay potential, but the supreme display of talent
and he goes
down. He gets the double stun, as now Owner will find the Cyclone for the cleanup. There it is. And T1, oh man, sacrifice Doran, pick up a double kill. As I think he knows that there is going to be some sort of gank attempt. And you can see already, Owner is moving down. Yep, Counter-Strike and naming his cooldowns, things like this. Knows that this is coming.
The fact he gets the Counter-Strike.
I mean, if he had have actually died immediately, then it would have been good for DK, but...
Yeah, we just have Owner starting up Herald.
Yeah, immediately.
And DK, as they should contest for sure.
Well, Carrier is going to try and deny it as the Destiny comes down, gives them full information of what's happening here around this Herald. Let's see whether Lucy can make something happen.
She was running.
Yeah, Carrier goes in, finds a Magnus Storm onto only Beryl. Not exactly the optimal target. A supreme display of talent also not getting too much done, but aiming. Gonna be able to pick up his first kill of this fight is now Showmaker.
She was here.
Flashes over the wall. Doran looking for an angle onto Lucid, who goes into stealth. And she's out! Protects Lucid! Doran is gonna go down as now Faker doing battle with the cow. And she was flashing on top of him, aiming, trying to get amongst it, as Owner's over here as well, and that's just a 1-for-0, but Lucid goes over to the Drake, and they should be able to take that too.
Atlas, I figured it out. That is Rise Group, baby!
Oh my goodness, it is Rise Group, baby, but the Legend Group is not used to it.
They're being pulled into the dirt!
Oh
They're fighting in the mud!
And look, they've got really clean clothes, you know, like they're not prepared for this. DK have had time to buy their galoshes.
As they're still going!
Yeah, but he's going to be the Rift Herald secured here by Owner. Collects the eye there at the same time as Showmaker doesn't quite have that gold card. And Owner does just worry a Trickster his way out.
As Owner is on vision. See if a trap is set up. It's really hard to actually lock down the Wukongers. Oh, Beryl!
Yeah, Beryl going to find the Pulverize here as he's looking to try and turn it onto Gumayusi. Missed by the Slurkle though. And Beryl does have to blow the ulti. Faker possibly out of position, and Lucid can just dance towards him. He gets the redemption, but I don't think he's realm warping out of this one, and aiming secures his second kill of the game. Make it 5 now for DK. Not a whole lot to pick up off the back end, but still good to layer in a few extra kills.
I think even the Cassante is a big threat. Like, I think it's hard for T1 to reliably take him down. That's Beryl. We're not going to go for that again.
Yeah.
And continuously finding one member to gold card, take down, and then go from there.
Well, you got to teleport in here from said TF, as the Rift Herald hasn't quite started her charge just yet. Will finally get into position, but she's not going anywhere. And that turret is going to stay healthy. Beryl, not so much. Almost definitely going to be a Drake, but the problem is, the Drake is right next to an Otacon. Showmaker is going to immediately start up.
That's a gamble.
Well, they are known to do that, as they are 2.5k ahead, but that may change now as we've got an Ocean Soul. They are looking for a turn.
Wait, Beryl's behind him.
Oh, no.
Beryl's in that little pocket of vision, I think.
The Assassin Cow, but we're not going to know for the next little while as Cassante is showing on vision. The rest of DK are going to back. There he is! There's the Destiny! He pulls off Gumayusi as Shiu dives in. Guma just flashes away though, and Shiu is instantly evaporated. And now Faker is going to make his way in. Beryl just gets him out of there with a headbutt. But without Shiu, DK may just lose the Otacon, and they may lose more as well. The flash counter-strike from Doran! And another double comes through for Owner, as now Carrier is just picking them up one after the other. Lucid lying on the floor, and aiming is taking an outer turret in the mid lane because everything was going wrong.
And that too is Rise Group. Otacon!
Oh god, you called it! Vision everywhere for T1.
And this time around, T1 is gonna chew for that very quickly.
Yes.
It's a lot better than last game. He's back in again, it's Guma.
Yeah, Beryl is flashing forward. There's a Supreme Display talent, and down he will go! They make sure of it there as well, but the Cyclone for the follow-up. Showmaker not going to get knocked up though. And he does find a card. Isn't going to be able to use it, as we can see as Shiu Still getting taken down relatively low, but DK this time do manage to get their pick. She on a flank angle, level 16 here for Showmaker as there's the Destiny. In goes Showmaker and finds the gold card onto Faker. Great knock up there from Beryl at the same time as the burst was huge. But can they actually lock down a target? It's a Magnet Storm from Carrier. Doesn't quite get enough done, but it's a trade of these supports, and Doran decides now is the time to go in. Aiming does manage to get a cleanse off, and he takes down the Jax. It is Lucid that falls at the same time, so in the end, a 2-for-2 trade. As the gold card comes through, Faker a little worse for wear now as Showmaker looking very healthy. Gold card in position, and T1 have the jungler. They don't have the health bars to make this one work as Gumiushi does show back up again. So starting off this Baron can always be a bit dangerous, but the teleport comes through from Doran. He gets on top of Showmaker now, whose gold card does absolutely nothing, and he ults. The Destiny does come on down as now Aiming is trying to deal with Doran, who also goes gold, and then the redemption is going to be there. Doran for Baron. I think T1 is saying worth on that one as Aiming, yeah, he might get another kill, but these turrets are just going to start falling.
And Lucid attempting to flash over, steal the Nash, not going to be the case. And as you highlight, that's a trade you'll take any day of the week of your T1.
The selflessness of Doran once again,
it knows no bounds. Yeah, they do take a lot of tempo out of Nash, though. I think that T1 was really looking to push a lot more aggressively there, so he does a lot of damage!
Destiny comes in, Beryl looking for an angle, but doesn't quite get the pulverize where he wants it, as Gumiushi is able to flash his way out, and they dive on top of Aiming! The flanking Yunara! That was not what we wanted to see, but T1, they turned on a dime. It's a big realm warp to get T1 into the DK base as Beryl decides he wants in on that party. I don't know whether he necessarily should have, but now T1 are going to make a big dent in this top side of the map, and this is the first big advantage that we've seen so far in this game, and it may only last a few minutes because T1 are looking to just end it.
I think they can, Atlas!
Oh, this is ridiculous because it felt like it was so close for so long, and now it is just done. Doran thwacking away at the Nexus as Showmaker is going to go gold, and Shiu not going to be able to find the angle, and the Nexus will now go down. T1 will even out the series here in our first best of 5 of the playoffs and make it a best of 3.
As Carrier does pick up his 400 win here.
Second out of all of our supports, and he's only 26 behind Lehens. And Lehens will not be playing for the rest of the year.
He gets to do some catch-up.
Staying on that top side is going to feel a whole lot better because there are some Titans that you're going to be going up against further on in this one. As Faker does manage to top the damage, and damage...
Sejuani Braum is obviously a really strong combo. Oh my god!
Okay, well, Faker is on the I'm winning worlds thing already in the very first match of the playoffs here. As his Akali does come out.
Atlas, both these two compositions have one mode. Go. There's not really a plan B. We're looking at extremely volatile lanes in both solo lanes that as soon as they fall behind on any of the sides, will just be cooked.
Yep.
And will not get to play the game. So I think this is going to be a volatility central. I thought that in some of the previous games, we got very little action until much later on. So hopefully this game delivers starting early on.
Matchup in the mid lane, always fiery. Let's dive onto the Rift for game number 3. I feel like some of the big plays have worked out for Showmaker. This though is not working out thus far, as Carrier doesn't quite find the Zenith Blade. Also cancelling a bunch of autos for fun.
Let's get the shield.
Yeah, as he does unbind the soul, but he's gonna need to rebind. The flash comes forward as Faker flashes after him. Takes a couple of turret shots, but Showmaker is going to go back home.
But top lane matchup is really fun. So yeah. I think you just want to stay in that as...
Oh, Beryl.
In they go.
Possibly a little too far up as he does manage to get the passive onto the Leona, but it's just Gumiushi killing Braum. So Beryl goes down. Now Lucid finds himself in a 1v2.
TP.
Does have the permafrost as there is the teleport in from Shiu, who pops out the weirding, but it's Lucid that's going to be going down, and I don't think this this play will be salvageable. Even if Gumiushi goes down here, it's still a trade-off for T1, and it is going to happen, so at least Xiu does get that, but still a disaster.
Which is a big problem. The saving grace for DK is that their backline access is exceptional, but they have a lot of issues they need to deal with in this draft. Right. So sending everything towards a Sivir isn't necessarily an option the way it is. I was so firmly in favor of T1, right? Faker's winning his lane, bot lane is winning his lane. The only lane that DK have is specifically the top lane is, oh, maybe Xiu can join this. Would have to run over.
There's a cheeky little angle there from Showmaker being looked for as Faker wants to pop the passive, does manage to do so.
I mean, they have a lot of burst, and Doran doesn't have ult.
It's a flash in from Beryl, but he doesn't really find anything. The redemption comes down, the solar flare is there. Ulti from Showmaker, and they lock down the kill. Still Lucid, could be in trouble, but aiming. The cavalry have arrived, and the turret is going to be enough to take down the Sejuani, but make that a 2-for-1. And DK going to be feeling a little bit better.
Let's see.
Yeah, Carrier, of course, is pretty tanky. There's the Eclipse. As he finds the Zenith Blade, Xiu has so much burst damage, but still Carrier survives.
Yeah, scale pretty evenly as long as no one falls like super far behind in gold, because they're both just, they're gonna just bash their faces into each other. Atlas says they might right here.
Yeah, that was a very weird sort of chain of events, but Beryl is still in so much trouble and does get cut down. I saw the solar flare and I'm like, ooh, I don't know whether that is the angle, but Carrier knew. Showmaker still has this dragon busy.
Yeah, this is a must-win. Here again for DK. Maybe some poke on the carrier.
Yeah, there's the knock-up from Showmaker. This is actually decent damage as they do layer through the ulti, but Showmaker is forced to snap back. Ooh. And now Carrier is going to be forced to reset. This could mean that T1 give this one up.
They can afford
to. No,
to.
teleport is there for Carrier, so he can come back at any time as Between Worlds comes through for Xiu. Has actually the backup of this culling. As Ona flashes away, Showmaker goes in, finds Gumiushi! And they're now looking to take down this Rift Herald, distracted by Shelly as she gets permafrosted, but they do manage to get the turret, and the Drake has not been taken. 25 seconds on Guma though, T1, can they defend?
DK play with confidence as they should, there's one stack!
Yep, they found it. As now Lucid looking for the angle, they sweep the area to make sure that Faker is at least visible.
Guma's gonna run, I think DK's too late.
Yeah, and Gumiushi is going to be running his way through here. DK, I think they have a small window to try and make this happen. As Beryl is going to be swept. There is the Zenith Blade. I think Beryl is just dead as the Equalizer does burn him down. Showmaker
Faker behind him!
Faker finds it onto aiming. He is just dead. No second ulti required. And now Doran is just walking through to take down the Sejuani. Once again, DK try to take more than they're allowed to.
And they get Guma, but afterwards there's just too much time spent for DK. Not really get. Oh
dear. Xiu not going to get hit by that 5-point strike, but doesn't get over the wall, and the Zenith Blade will find him. Takes a bit of time, but then the Q is going to be found there by Faker.
Q free, as he's dead.
Yeah.
We'll see again. Oh!
Wow, that was very, very close. Gets a nice knock-up as he ults his way out. Showmaker, okay.
Insanely tanky with Spellbook and Redemption, by the way. As we take a look here at Showmaker, I think he thought he was going to get the kills. Why not? Hail Mary, I guess.
Let's burger flip for the Otacon as Fake. Oh my god, that damage was obscene. Doran there as well as the Glacial Prison goes to Narnia, and aiming will find a good culling angle, but it's Carrier that tanks up the entire thing. Xiu's dead already. Beryl was dead pretty quickly in the fight, and there is one of the swiftest aces that we've seen in recent memory. T1, they needed to shake some cobwebs off, but they're really starting to come alive in this series.
That's what we were expecting coming into the day, Atlas. It took some time, but let's be real.
0, 1, and 13, by the way. 100% kill contribution for Carrier. When distances become larger than 37
Surely this time we kill Carrier, right?
They're going to look for the angle. There is the exhaust immediately onto Showmaker, and Faker gets himself in there. Carrier is just fine. The rest of DK have all turned up, but the Akali being so frustrating for DK still. The health bars are so low. They take down the Yone, though, and it's a double for Ona. Beryl runs the wrong direction. That's going to make that one a triple. How did that not even work even a little bit as Doran picks up the exit kill? Aiming goes down, and Xiu's like, where's the rest of my team? Kind of like what I assume he's been saying most of the game.
But give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that one. It's very not okay, as, again, if at first you don't succeed, engage onto Carrier one more time, as he will redemption to make sure that all of their efforts are for naught. This teleport is one of the teleports of all time, but he does make it to relative safety. Still, it's the Brawn that's going to pay for his sins. There's another very deep teleport to come on through, as Faker not going to find the Shuriken, but still just going to find Shiv. That is going to be a boomerang that takes him down. In the meantime, Owner is killing Showmaker and Baron at the same time. It's a triple for Guma, and this game was so over already, and is even more over now.
We both made the same tweet after game 1, and so far I'm feeling vindicated.
It's certainly looking a bit like that. It's okay, Glacial Prison this time is going to land. The kitchen sink hits Doran. Then they realize that it's Carrier that they want to kill, who Zenith Blade's under a turret and doesn't look any worse for wear. Beryl puts the door up the wrong direction. If there is any metaphor for this game, that would be it. As T1 look to take down an inhibitor. And honestly, right now, it does feel like they're playing with their food.
They really are. I do think that we're going to be lucky. I know She has had some great base defenses. I don't think this is going to be one of them, Atlas.
Well, they're preparing him. Maybe this is what DK's plan was all along. All right, how good is your base defense, She?
He's dead. He's dead!
He is, yeah. So that's not as good in this position.
He killed Carrier.
Hey, there we go. That's pretty good. But their Nexus exploding, not so good. But fantastic for T1 as they move to match point. Doran is a black hole of effort. You put so much effort trying to kill him, and he just absorbs it as aiming.
Which works because you have decent front line.
Yep.
Or you go like Kalista Renata. I think those are actually your two options, given what we have seen so far. And Aphelios Fresh does make sense.
And we are going to be putting the Ziggs in the bottom lane by the looks of things, as that Tristana will be locked in.
Are we?
Well, that's actually a good point. Theoretically, the Trist could stay towards the bottom side.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering what they want to do here. The main reason why is, like, do you really want to be playing the Tristana into Taliyah? It looks like that is going to be the case. So we are just playing for aiming on wave clear duty.
Win, but if the analyst says so, he says so. Let's jump into the Rift for game number 4.
If it was actual, like, if this was an Ahri or a Kai'Sa, 1 out of 100 times it's going to win me the lane.
As Beryl is not going to quite find the anchor there, but Showmaker still goes in and has to flash because the seismic shove is put down. Good reflexes from the GOAT in the mid lane there, and we get a crying little teacup.
Want to contest too heavily is Vi, really good at taking early dragons with her W that DK is paying for responding to these lane swaps. As Lucid, I mean, they do have control of the pit here. We'll see if they actually... This is a kind of an ideal scenario for Maokai, though. Forcing them to walk into you. You can get a lot of value on your ultimate, but don't forget, Baker has a wall.
Barrel 6, Carrier is not the box, not necessarily the most valuable, as there is a hook connecting. Flash out of the way of another hook there from Carrier as the wall comes down. And Beryl in a little bit of an awkward spot. Great buffer there from Showmaker, is now Owner, just separated from the rest of the team, and he'll be taken out. First blood goes to the Tristana, and a great start here for DK.
Oh, hold up, Lucid.
Yeah, we'll be in a little bit of trouble here. Bramble Smash to try and get Carrier away, as the hook is going to guess the angle as Weaver's wall comes down, and Lucid is just really dead. They'll give the kill over to Gumayushi as well because they have that luxury.
If they can execute on it, and that's always the question.
Yeah, Beryl is going to be able to buffer the hook, but another form of CC comes in right into the seismic shove as Beryl flashes, but it's not going to matter. Still, it's a trade as Faker does go down, as red-white guns are set up for Gumayushi, but without Taliyah, this contest is going to be hard.
Yeah, not a lot of counterplay there, as they're looking for the steal. There's a lot of burst on Vi.
Yeah, he does want to go in, try and take this one away, but Bramble Smash exists! And Lucid is able to secure the dragon. Feats of Warfare come in for DK.
Except about the names. I feel like I kind of wanted them to be, you know, like super over the top.
Yeah, I mean, Feats of Warfare exists for that reason.
Yeah, that one's good. And it has the drama.
I'm pretty sure Captain Flowers also said Feats of Objective at one time, because he was like, why doesn't it have a cool name?
I think it is just that.
Yeah. Well, Doran is now in a lot of trouble. Like a big amount of, many troubles have been picked up here, as the flash does have to come through. Shiu is going to die for it. And Doran is going to try and run to the wave, try and take it down.
Shiyu was sitting on a lot of gold. Should be looking to contest here again.
And it's another Cloud Soul as well. You love to see that.
Aiming, by the way, building full damage. You'll love to see that as well.
Yeah, couple of books. Some codices.
Oh, this might be a big fight here. Look at Doran.
Yeah, already just going to press that R button. He will oh, never mind. Gets past the little wall. And that is just a dead Lucid immediately. Owner has overextended, but he's able to flash back over that wall. Mega Inferno Bomb does a fair bit of damage, but now Shiyu, what the heck are you doing there, my friend? He is just going to die. And DK, they found a great angle.
As, I mean, they do have passive. Oh?
Yeah, that's a really nice little flick back and aiming. Going to be able to pick up that kill. Was that a satchel? Offensive satchel usage worked out?
And these Drake fights, I think, are going to be big. As
Weave as well going to come on through here as Beryl. No choice but to really start a fight here as the box goes down. Lucid finds the Nature's Grasp as Carrier flashes himself out of the way, and now Beryl looking for the angle. The hook is going to get blocked there by Ona. Oh, it's so selfless, but they put a billion wards on top of the lantern, and the light unfortunately could not be found as DK will be able to find the one little pick.
That's good. Yeah, it's Tristan. It's Tristan 6. That turret is gone. But you have an Aphelios. Like, the champion is extremely good at what it does.
Well, Otacon is still just messing with
We're not actually.
The Rift Herald does come on through.
Guys.
Yeah, Otacon into Ziggs.
They're not. They know. Herald, I assume, was timing out. We'll still get the charge. Not going to be enough to actually get more than that, but it's still a little win here.
As Doran, oh man, if he's unseen, as there's the knock-up onto Ona. He's in a bit of trouble as the bouncing bomb not going to find him. As, all right, Lucid's going in, looking for an angle onto Carrier. He puts the box down, Mega Inferno Bomb's there, and the Thresh is now gone. Depth charge means the Gumayusi cannot do much damage to follow up, but still, with only Thresh down, is this an Otacon angle? Not sure about it, as Lucid's health bar is pretty low.
They need more poke for sure. It's just, this is soul point, by the way, for DK.
Yeah.
And this is feeling like game number 1, Atlas, not like game number 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Even a couple of autos from Showmaker can be huge, but it's T1, so you know they're starting that Baron.
Yep. Gumayusi now with a Calibrum, bit of long-range weaponry, but this is going down so quickly. Showmaker needs to get over here. Nature's Grasp comes down, but Doran's buying so much time, and the Baron is secured. Doran has to try and flash, but he can't click on the lantern. There is too many wards as the hook goes wide, and now she was just trying to hold them in position. Is this outer turret going to be enough? That's the question.
There's no way.
Area tanking a fair bit of damage there.
There's no way.
They're fishing a barrel, and this is a Ziggs composition.
Oh my god, the poke! They're just gonna keep on poking!
Exactly, Faker's gonna try and wall his way out. Beryl in a lot of trouble as the buffer doesn't quite work out. The Vault Breaker is going to break it. DK still trying to get this poke down as Ona doesn't find the angle for the Vault Breaker there. Shiu's still lurking off to the side. This is almost comical, but T1 are desperate to keep these Barons up as the hop gets Shiu out of there, but that means T1 now have an avenue to safety. DK will be able to take down this turret, but they do lose the Baron.
They're looking for somewhat of a collapse here, it does look like. They're just trying to stall, right? They only have a minute of Baron left.
They'd like to get a soul.
And also, that is the big one here. Oh, that poke.
That's getting decent now. But if aiming's picked off, Doran, remember, can always just go in.
It's just such a good Ziggs angle, right? As a Faker's going to try and split it. We have Owner in the pit. Might be a 50-50.
Get the steal, that's the question. There's the wall going down. They split off the Dragon, but Lucid gets out of the way of the seismic shot. Gets it! Smite going to Lucid, and they blow up Owner immediately. The hook onto Gumayusi is massive. So's his ultimate, but the AoE. Showmaker with the double buster shot into the Nas setup, man. That alley-oop between the top and mid of DK is gorgeous. And Doran just caught licking his words. He was a zombie, so never mind. It's a clean ace. Well, Beryl's dead, but that's as close to a clean ace as this team gets.
Only one man knew, the Barrel Whisperer himself.
No, I did not know. I refuse to let anyone congratulate me. That is not allowed. It was 100% cope. And I am still coping to this day as these Nexus turrets are going down, and DK, cue up the silver scrapes, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to game 5.
Of even the fact that this is going to 5, even if I think T1, the favorites, will end up still taking it.
Aiming took the Lucian game personally, by the way, and decided to adjust his number distribution.
Oh yeah.
It's looking a little bit better this time around. But as you can see, the goal graph is still an absolute heart monitor between these two teams. And DK have not been able to get early leads.
I want to highlight as well, I feel like that Vi pick, that was a takeaway. They didn't want to...
We saw him already have a great game on it earlier on. That's a treat. Never
Oh
mind.
my God.
Okay, we are playing Ivern Poppy. Oh my... Buffed on this patch.
No. We're not. Let's not get baited by hovers. I want to see what the final plan for DK is here, because I think they pick an AD carry here.
Oh, Tryndamere. I'm ready. I'm ready to get baited by the hovers. Instead, it's the tech he's already shown as he's having a giggle.
Lock it in.
It's Tryndamere! Oh God, no! It's getting too obvious.
Bringing it back.
It's okay. Well,
Atlas. We are going to have a serious chat.
I
If
know.
You know what happens.
I should not expose it. Exactly. It makes my job easier, but I need to also hide that. Yeah, I know. And now aiming's like, what am I? Oh God, the Smolder is gonna get picked.
Yes, of course. Into the Zaya, it's a no-brainer. You have Ivern as well.
Feels like pretty free stacking to me.
That not only that, but the enemy team outside of like picks with Trundle and Blitzcrank, or specifically playing around Renekton, doesn't have that much early game.
And
I
also,
think you can actually get away with a lot.
Flap is really good into Pillar. It does allow you to get over it.
It's very contingent for me in the mid lane matchup.
Oh.
But I think that DK, the draft to me makes sense, right? You have multiple win conditions when it comes to your early game. I think particularly the Poppy Slam and the Tryndamere pressure in lane. If they don't have pressure in mid lane though, this is like free losing lanes and the game just ends.
We want to be getting into this game number 5 to see who is staying in the upper bracket. Is it T1 or DK?
I kind of wonder what they want.
Oh
there you go.
Was that 2 crits in a row?
Might have been.
I don't think he's supposed to be allowed to do that.
And he is level 2. Shield?
Oh my God, he's igniting him. And there's the snip, needs to flash. Does Doran is now feeling a little bit better, but Lucid's moving his way up. This is not what it said on the tin. Doran does get the ward down.
Trundle in this position this early on is...
Well, Barrel's going to be lit on fire as Carrier does find him under the Smolder as Aiming has to flash to get himself out of the way of that one. He does sneeze on them. Get some stacks there, but flash down against a Blitzcrank. Flash. Chiu is up here snipping.
Thank you, production.
Yep, thank you very much, G-Sun, for that one.
Nicely done here in the picture-in-picture as
what did
this is not what I was expecting.
What did he have for breakfast today?
Wait,
Like,
there's no flash.
No, what?
There's no flash.
The stun comes through, but he only needs one more. The dash doesn't come. And so Shiu just pushes him out of the lane.
2 seconds, by the way. 2 seconds on the dash there for Shiu.
As
then he
Faker,
goes.
yeah, puts down the gravity field. Owner is here in position. Jamaica just going to be able to eat a whole bunch of that red bar. Ignite goes down once again as Shiu does land a lot of this needlework. Dashes forward, stacking up the snips. He got it! There it is! And they close the gap. Shiu gets first blood.
Again, I don't think they have great tools of locking down the Smolder.
Not to mention the fact that there's a Gwen in the game.
And this is where I think you really feel the nerfs to Gwen. Right, the reduced slow is actually a big deal.
It is. He's so calm.
Who would have known? T1, I like this counter punch. Immediately play for Drake, as they should.
Well, Showmaker is just going to be able to dive on top of Faker here.
There is no TP for either, so they shouldn't be able to join.
All right, the setup's there for the Ivern. There's the trigger C. They get the heroic charge as well. And boom goes the Trundle. Mom comes down as well. And Gumayushi's level 6 has the Featherstorm. But I think the weather's looking pretty clear for DK as Doran having to get out of there. Daisy's upset. And DK in a phenomenal position at the start of Game 5.
Yeah, I don't really know how to parse that, Atlas. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see. They're gonna go for the dive on Doran. Showmaker still has ult. He
Yep.
can just take aggro.
Exactly. And Doran is going to be able to press his dominance button, but that is Feats of Warfare secured as Smolder collects the kill. 1-0-1 for the Little Dragon.
And they're getting nothing on the cross map either.
Yeah, in live, we can see Faker will be able to kill the Gwen.
All right, I take back. They do get the cross map.
There we go.
Shiu goes down.
Little bit delayed, but we got there in the end. Got it. So maybe not Doran?
I don't know,
Who haven't
Atlas.
I said? It's Owner.
Yeah, it's not Trundle. As I do really like this gank. Cross map here is good. They have really secured good vision control there as well, as the Guma ult gets forced by the root from Lucid. So much time. This is just 5 minutes bot for DK if they end up having a bad mid-game fight.
Yep.
And you've just been oh my, they're gonna get first turret blood.
Yep, T1 just going to be able to come on over here and grab it.
Ooh, that's gonna be big gold swing.
Could be a decent one.
It'll be a trade, so maybe not too big, but it does mean that they ensure that...
I mean, it's only going to be about 400, 500 or something like that. As this is going to be pulled back as Showmaker going to stop Faker from going home. And Owner is going to turn back up again, so we need history to mean something.
Is Doran in trouble?
Well, yes, he's going to have to flash. Heroic Charge is going to come down, though, as Beryl gets inside that brush. That is the Dominus, but he's taking so much damage. Shiu just gets out those scissors, and down goes the Crocodile. 0-3-0.
So the cross map was top line turret. I think Faker doesn't have enough damage to actually take down the inner. No, definitely doesn't this early in the game. I think they really do need to deny this.
Yeah, he was fishing for some stacks, and he just gets punished. It's Owner that locks down the kill, and now Faker trying to get that damage down. Showmaker will turn up, and you cannot be doing that. We have to remember that this is still a composition that's on a tightrope, and now the Rift Herald comes up. The outer turret is taken, and T1, they'll claim a gold lead in this game.
Mid gonna go down as well. Can't get hit by that hook. Flash was up for aiming. That's gonna be Dragon. That's gonna be mid, inner and outer. And a colossal gold swing here.
That's a big one.
Never mind, they're still gonna contest. They're not done.
All right, well, we're teleporting in. Yeah, aiming does have TP, so that might help him, as the Rift Herald now just going to be a walking ward, but Beryl comes through, evicts Gumayushi from the fight, is now Showmaker. Hasn't pressed R yet or anything like that, as Doran trying to be a nuisance. Owner will be able to take down the Dragon, but now he's stuck in the pit. The rest of T1 are over the wall. He still has Flash, and he is going to have to use it. And
Yeah, he's flopping, but you have Flash. You cannot get caught by that. If you have to use your Flash there, it feels bad.
Yep.
Nicely done by Carrier there. Obviously, the gold lead for the Trundle doesn't mean that much, as they're here.
This one could be uncomfortable, as there is the Featherstorm out. That might be a bridge too far there, Beryl, as he does try to redeem himself, and it does not quite work. As DK now on the run, Daisy getting amongst it, as Faker just flashes on top of Lucid. The gravity field is going to stop him, and another hook connects onto the Smolder. And ever since that first hook landed, Showmaker is now fighting against Doran. That's not ever since, but it's a thing that's happening right now, as he still has the Undying Rage.
Okay, I don't know about that Flash Doran. That one was a little bit overexcited, but the rest of this...
It's just starting to crumble. Now it is just kind of gone, as Faker going to walk at Shiu once again. Doran moving over here. Shiu knows it's going to be a real rough time, as the gravity field does go down. Beryl here to support, though, and Faker just steps a bit too far forward. Doran is definitely dead now as well, as Shiu should be able to chase him down. Little chicken above the head was what Showmaker was offering, but it will be the kill going over to the Gwen. 4-1-0. Well, Sneeze comes on through here, as Lucid not quite able to land the root. Oh, hook sidestepped, even with the slow. Pretty important. Aiming could take some notes. The Strybreaker comes down here from Showmaker. Remember, Faker needs to do a lot of work to make sure that this Tryndamere dies, as he hasn't pressed the R button yet. Still hasn't pressed, and then just dies. Okay, that was weird. There's another hook. This time, Beryl is going to be able to avoid it. DK looking for some angles. Oh, the feather pull is fantastic. Owner can just run up, but he's not able to put the kennel down in the right position. Shiu over to the side. He's very scary, but Lucid taking so much damage. Keeper's verdict is that no victors are allowed in this area, and down will go Daisy.
That's going to be Drake, though, for sure. Showmaker, even with the Hex Gates, I don't know if he can make it back. A Shiyu?
Oh, man. The needlework doing a fair bit at this point in time, but T1 should be able to get Soul Point off the back of this one. Gold's still very, very close, but that is Otacon, that is Soul Point, and it is feats of strength over to T1.
For T1, there might also be a feeling of pressure, given that Smolder has now hit his stacks, and that situation is not going to get better. And yep, it's a T1 Baron, all right.
That's what they're looking for.
But look, they have zero control.
Yeah, there is not a lot of vision opportunities. There's now Faker. Let's see whether this Keeper's Verdict is going to land it. It is going to do so as Beryl gets a big old shield. Heroic charge to try and get him out. But Gumayusi finds the Poppy. Showmaker has to get his way out of there. He flashes away as Daisy going to be going down as well. That's 50 gold in the pocket of Guma.
He got it!
And the hook is going to connect. Down goes the tree. Down goes the smite as Mom is going to try and make a difference here. Shiu is still very scary. But the Baron, it's going down so incredibly quickly, and they just flap their way out. DK, no answers, and T1 take full control here.
The rest of the team wasn't quite there either. And if you're winning, Blitzcrank feels a hell of a whole lot better.
Oh my god, how did he know?
That's the blind hook.
He's a genius as Carrier getting taken down very low. As Owner getting in amongst it. The flash away from Lucid this time around. But he's going to leave Beryl out to dry, and he is definitely dead. Now T1 with Baron and a man advantage. No more split pushing available for Showmaker as he needs to be back defending.
But unfortunately, neither Aiming nor Showmaker in this one thus far has been able to make their mark.
Yeah.
In a positive sense. And we will see if just the idea of this Smolder is going to be enough to burn his hitting.
I mean, he really does hurt. The problem is they haven't been able to find too much as Beryl goes in once again. Mom, massive AoE, but they haven't finished off the targets. The flash forward from Aiming, that was insane, and not in a good way, as Lucy going to be going down as well. Shiu, can you tidy up the fight? It is now all about you, as Owner is going to get taken down, and Gumayusi holds the Tryndamere in place and says, nope, you're just going to get kited. That is going to be the kill for Faker as well. That's the ace, and that should be the game for T1. It took 5 games, but they remain in the upper bracket, ready for a date with either HLE or with Gen G. But man, they had to work for it today, and at least we got one hell of a series.
And T1 claims their victory.
Crazy with the celebrations, as there is some work to do. Faker as well. There is another thing that we do need to talk about here, as Gumayusi, of course, as well. Showmaker obviously not doing a whole lot of damage to champions.
I mean, we've been going off on Aiming, and I think that's fair. The Tryndamere also did not hit him. Should have been Viego.
Should have been Viego.
Should not have been Viego. Viego also wouldn't have been
But
good.
It also could have been Smolder mid lane. Carrier will be able to pick it up. Played Blitzcrank in Game 5, and also landed the series-winning hook. And
thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the post-match interview translation, joined by the POM, Kira, and also Doran on the side of T1. Please welcome them onto the stage. Congratulations on the win, everyone. Thank you very much. It was a nail-biter, actually. 5-game series up against D plus Kia, and now you guys are headed to the second round of the playoffs. How do you feel? Well, honestly, I was not expecting a 5-game series. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun. And I'm so relieved that we managed to grab the win in the end. What about you, Doran? Like, imagine I imagine myself us losing the series, and it was going to be a very tough road for us. I'm so relieved that we managed to get the win. Keria, it's been about 4 months since you last played D plus Kia after, we split it into Legend groups and Rise groups. So how was playing up against them after a while? Yeah, it's been a long time. I've watched them perform in the Rise group, in the play-ins, and I thought to myself, if we happen to have another matchup against D plus Kia, I thought it would be a fun one. But everything is pretty much, It depends on where you're actually playing because they managed to put up a really good fight up against us. It was a very tough series for us today. I'm being very frank. Well, it was not a best start for T1, dropping the first game. So what was the feedback mainly about? Although we lost the first game, we didn't really think that it was our problem. We just wanted to make sure that we have the better approach to the second game. And Doran, your performance in Jax was so impressive because you managed to do a lot of work in the later phase of the game and team fights. Well, the enemy also locked in Kiana in the jungle role, which is a very successful pick over in the LPL. So was T1 kind of prepared to deal with that champion? I mean, yeah, Kiana is a meta pick over in the LPL. So we did kind of have Kiana in our mind. I thought every team can actually utilize Kiana. So it was not something that we did not expect at all. What about you, Dora? What was your plan going up against Kiana then? I mean, it's irrelevant to the top lane. And Owner also wanted to play Kiana, but he didn't get a chance. So I just had a lot of fun watching them play Kiana. It did seem like both teams prepared so much for the playoffs match. D+ Kia, they were on a great form, and also they tried a lot of new strategies. I'm very glad that we secured the win today, but I think T1 has a long way to go yet. I think the main focus for us will be being on the best form and performance. Even Girls Day Yura came down to support T1 in the audience, and it was a 5-gamer. Everyone was sending so much energy and love and support. We had a lot of pocket picks throughout the series, and then Game 5, Keria, your Blitzcrank, was, one of the picks that brought T1 to the victory. After the drafting was completed, what was on your mind? When I was young, first off, I was a big fan of Girls' Day, so thank you, Yura, for coming to support us. And then looking at the enemy's comp, I thought Blitz will be the only way for T1 to find the angle for victory. So I think Blitz was the one, and I think the play was there to actually kind of manage to secure the win. So I'm so glad and relieved that our performance was able to live up to our plan. I think that was the moment that everything was decided. What was going through your mind when you're throwing that hook? As long as I can land my hook, we were pretty sure that we're going to get a kill onto that Smolder. And then as we can get a push onto the mid lane, I didn't really see an angle where we actually lose the game. And then even when you guys were trying the Baron, you managed to hook Ivern outside of your vision. I mean, when I was using my hook, we didn't really have vision, but prior to that, we saw him moving towards that path. So I was kind of doing some prediction, and then it kind of worked. And then in the last game, Doran, you were playing Renekton into Gwen, and then because you've been popping up throughout the season, it was obvious that the enemies were targeting you so much and you were not having the best day. How was the series today? I mean, I did die a lot in that game. I was not having the best game here. So it is what it is, It happens, and I died a lot, so it was a rough day. But you still have to step up. And I also want to say thank you to the teammates who played so well, so we were able to win the series. Keria, with this win, you are the second players to hit 400 to win in the LCK. What does it mean to you? Feels amazing for sure. It means that I've been out here for a long time, which makes me feel really proud. I hope I can become the first ever player to accomplish anything. I hope I can be the first ever, the best support, anything possible. Any message over to Keria, Doran? With some eye contact, maybe? You know, we debuted together. It means a lot. So, congratulations, Keria, on a new milestone. I hope you can keep up the good work. Now, in the second round of the playoffs, your opponent will be either Genji or Hono Life. How would you like to play out the rest of the playoffs? It feels like we have a bit of a time to prepare for the next match. So based on the games we played today, I hope we can come back with a stronger performance. Anything you would like to say your potential opponent in the next round? Both teams are very, very strong. I can say that for sure. We have a couple days to prepare for the next one. So I think our main focus should be focusing our own performance. As long as we can be on our peak performance, we will be able to beat whoever we're facing. Once again, congratulations on the win today, Keria and Doran. And that will be the end of the post-match interview. And back to the space. Thank you.